The man was out walking in the woods when he stumbled upon a small cabin that looked abandoned. At first, he hesitated. Should he go in? Eventually, he did. What happened next is enough to give anyone nightmares. Here's what he captured.
Fan ass. Nej.
Turns out, the cabin may not have been abandoned after all. But who or what was inside? Was it the owner? Or something else entirely? After this, the man said he'll think twice before entering another so-called abandoned structure in the forest. A teenager accidentally recorded a witch's coven and later disappeared without a trace. The original footage was captured in August 2017 and, according to the video's description, was authorized for release by the missing boy's family. The video was filmed in a rural area far from the city. The boy had gone to visit his grandmother during the summer holidays. There, he found his late grandfather's old video camera and decided to start a vlog about his countryside experience. At one point, he wandered into the woods, climbed a tree, and began recording his thoughts. Suddenly, he slipped and fell. The impact knocked him unconscious. When he came to, it was already nightfall. What happens next will terrify you. He gets up and notices a fire nearby. As he approaches, he sees a strange, unsettling woman holding a book, chanting something while eerily moving her head side to side. Lying motionless on the ground in front of her is a human body. What is going on here? A witch's ritual? The woman suddenly senses she's being watched. She snaps her head in his direction and begins to chase him. This unsettling video was filmed by a police vehicle in the Saudi Arabian desert. At first, everything seems normal. The camera shows a car driving down an empty road, but then she appears. A hunched old woman dressed in white, long black hair, face completely hidden. She just stands there and then slowly starts walking toward the car. The vehicle pulls away, but the witch keeps moving. As if she's not human, but something else entirely. And the longer you watch, the more disturbing it gets. A Canadian woman accidentally filmed two completely naked witches feasting on a deer. In a nightmarish scene that rivals the most grotesque cannibal horror films, the nature-loving woman was stunned when she came across what appeared to be two nude women engaging in a macabre feast on a deer carcass. The photo that surfaced later, taken in daylight, shows the aftermath, remains of the deer scattered across the ground where the witches had been. A terrifying event occurred near Bristol in the Lee Woods Forest. Two friends, Lola Swan and Kate Shannon, decided to go camping for a couple of days. One of them had been going through a rough patch, and they thought the peace of nature might help. It looked like they weren't the first to camp at that site. On their very first night, strange things began to happen. They clearly heard footsteps, the snapping of twigs, and rustling leaves. Someone, or something, was circling their tent, and in the morning, they found that a few items had gone missing, including a hammer and a flashlight. The second night, the weirdness continued. One of the girls finally snapped and shouted, "Who's there?" No answer, so she whistled, and someone whistled back. Now they were really scared. Too frightened to leave the tent, they huddled inside. Then, at exactly 1 a.m., they heard the sound of a child crying just a few meters from their campsite. It was absolutely bone-chilling. The next morning, they left in a panic. Once home, one of them started reviewing the photos they had taken in the forest and noticed something horrifying. There, between the trees, was a pale figure in white, watching them. This footage was reportedly taken from the Oklahoma State Police Archive, but not much else is known. This video was reportedly captured by a police officer's dashcam in the town of Maliki. In the early hours of June 27, 2015, the officer was driving along the highway when he came upon something truly inexplicable. A woman stood in the middle of the road with a fire burning in front of her. Some speculated she was under the influence of drugs. Others believed she was performing black magic. The woman simply stood before the flames, raised her arms, and then the footage ends. Greg, the man behind this video, claims that after his grandfather passed away, he inherited a remote cabin deep in the woods. He planned to spend the winter there before selling it off, but soon after arriving, he began hearing footsteps outside at night. Strange things started happening. Here's a real photo showing bizarre wooden symbols that someone had hung around the cabin, including right on the doorknob. Greg kept finding more and more of these symbols scattered around his property. One night, while walking in the forest near the cabin, he saw her. A pale, bald woman with no eyes standing in the darkness. She was staring in the direction of his cabin when he caught her on camera. Given her terrifying appearance and the bizarre events surrounding the cabin, it's not hard to believe this woman could be a witch. This wasn't a horror story. It was real footage. Still, no one can say for sure who or what she was. Many viewers believe the video is 100% authentic and not staged. This footage comes from an internal security camera at the McLean Library in Virginia. What we see appears to be a witchcraft ritual in progress. A group of teenagers stands around an older woman who seems to be leading a spiritual ceremony. Look closely at the woman in the headscarf. Her face slowly contorts into something grotesque. Her nose becomes sharp, the skin around her eyes darkens, a sinister grin spreads across her face, and her pupils glow unnaturally on camera. Then she vanishes into the darkness. This bizarre figure was first filmed by a man walking by, and soon after, dozens more began capturing footage. A strange female figure was spotted moving among the leaves at the very top of a tree. Some suggested she might be a mentally ill person. Others believed she was a ghost, especially because by the time emergency responders arrived, she had vanished. How was she standing at the top? How did she keep such perfect balance? The branches shouldn't be able to support her weight. To this day, it remains a mystery. This eerie image was taken in a cemetery near a group of graves. According to witnesses, the scene captured their attention immediately. They saw a woman dressed like a nun, seemingly dancing beside a grave, right next to a skeleton. Some believe she was performing a mystical ritual or ceremony. The incident happened in broad daylight near a busy road by the General Cemetery in Gale. Some onlookers speculated it might have been a prank or a film shoot, although no cameras were seen nearby. The woman wore a cream-colored nun's robe and a traditional headdress made of starch cloth. In another image, the same mysterious figure appears to be playing with an animal skeleton, possibly a dog's.